Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, delve into Disney delights with The Age of Believing, the Disney live-action classics. Then Ramon Navarro stars in the epic silent film Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ. And Francois Truffaut directs the TCM import The 400 Blows. TCM takes a licking and keeps on ticking tonight.
Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. We're going to wrap up our Family Classics Festival this evening by taking a look at how the whole Disney concept of live-action family films began in the first place and how it flowered. It's an encore presentation of a TCM original documentary we premiered just last week called The Age of Believing, the Disney live-action classics. It was produced, written, and directed by Peter Fitzgerald, who previously produced a really good documentary for TCM about Joan Crawford called Joan Crawford, the Ultimate Movie Star. Well, this time Peter tells the history of the Disney live-action films using a combination of film clips, rare behind-the-scenes photographs, and interviews with film historians like Leonard Maltin and Richard Schickel. And there's also additional input from former Disney actors such as Dick Van Dyke, Dean Jones, Michelle Lee, Kurt Russell, Leslie Ann Warren, and Tim Conway. Initially, you know, Disney was all about animation, only animation. Then when Walt himself was still with us, his company started making award-winning nature documentaries, then further tested the waters with a live-action adaptation of Treasure Island, a feature filmed in England, but as you'll learn in this documentary, was mired with all kinds of legal problems involving its young star, Bobby Driscoll. Our documentary also explains why Walt Disney was reluctant to move into television, but why he did and why he stayed. And you'll learn about how the Disney studio adapted with the changing social values of the 60s and 70s. All that plus many behind-the-scenes details about some of Disney's most memorable live-action films. It's really good. And here narrated by Angela Lansbury, the TCM original documentary, The Age of Believing, the Disney live-action classics.
When we hear the name Walt Disney, images of the greatest animated classics come to mind. But along with his legendary cartoons, Walt Disney also produced a marvelous array of live-action classics that hold a special place in the hearts of moviegoers. Using his signature style, hard work, and an unwavering belief in his vision, Walt Disney created the most successful family film franchise of all time.
Walt Disney's live-action films are as special in their own way as his animated films. They bear his unique stamp.
He just told you this story that he somehow had in his own sensibility.
Mr. Disney was clearly involved with everything that went on there.
He used to say, I don't care how much it costs, I want to do it again, it's not good enough. Now, how many studio chiefs do that?
He was editing the picture before we'd ever start shooting. I'd never seen anything like it.
Walt Disney said he made movies that kids wouldn't be embarrassed to take their parents to.
Those movies, I think, will last forever because there's a timelessness about his kind of entertainment.
There's a reason he's Walt Disney.
He was just a powerful influence on America and the world.
You know, I think it's fair to call him a genius.
It's such a huge world that he created, and the live-action movies are a very important and powerful part of that.
Walt believed that anything was possible.
As long as people can look at film, I think they'll be looking at those movies.
The really good ones are very much equal to classic animation.
If you enjoyed this documentary, it may be of interest to you or somebody in the family that many of the films talked about in it are available on DVD from Buena Vista Home Entertainment. Many of them also feature one of those interviewed in the documentary, Kurt Russell. Now, Kurt was a teenager when he started appearing in Disney films and TV projects. His first Disney film was Follow Me Boys in 1966. His last was The Strongest Man in the World in 1975. Kurt then took a long break from Disney, but returned in 2005 to make another family film for Disney, Sky High, the story of some high school superheroes, with Kurt playing the father of one of the students. I mean, hey, even when you're sprinkled with Disney dust, you still grow older. Today, Kurt is 57. Someday he'll probably play a grandpa in a Disney film. That's called longevity. Up next, this week's Silent Sunday feature, and an appropriate one for this time of year. It's the epic tale of biblical times, starring Ramon Navarro as a man who goes from riches to rags until he competes in the wildest of all chariot races.
Tonight on Silent Sunday Nights, Ramon Navarro stars in the epic silent film Ben-Hur, A Tale of the Christ. Then Francois Truffaut directs the TCM import The 400 Blows, and Derek DeMarney is accused of murder in Alfred Hitchcock's Young and Innocent. TCM stays up late tonight.
In this video, we watch Turner Classic Movies' intro for The Age of Believing, which was an original documentary the channel produced to air during their month-long series of movies called The Family Classics, focusing on Disney films. This video includes an introduction from TCM host Robert Osborne, followed by the intro and the conclusion of the documentary. The documentary, narrated by Angela Lansbury, looked at the history of Disney live-action films and featured interviews with well-known Disney stars such as Dick Van Dyke, Kurt Russell, Dean Jones, and many more. Some of the people who gave interviews for this documentary, like Dean Jones, Kevin Corcoran, and Roy Disney Jr., are no longer with us, which makes this documentary even more important when looking at the history of the Disney company. Personally, I think it's one of the best documentaries I've seen looking at the live-action film side of Walt Disney Productions, as the company was called during Walt Disney's lifetime. It's not only full of great interviews, but also clips from the films. This documentary capped off a month-long presentation of Disney movies on TCM called The Family Classics. That presentation was likely the result of Warner Brothers and Disney's negotiations surrounding the Great Movie Ride attraction at the Disney MGM Studios theme park. As the story goes, Disney wanted to find a way to reduce the licensing fees they paid for characters from Warner Brothers films that appeared in the attraction. Those included characters from The Wizard of Oz and Casablanca, for example. Supposedly, a deal was struck whereby Disney provided a number of older films to TCM for broadcast in exchange for paying less in licensing. The result was that for the first time, classic Disney films were shown on TCM uncut and commercial-free. TCM made a big deal of it, presenting a month-long series of classic Disney films on each Sunday the month of December. Sunday had been the traditional day for The Wonderful World of Disney when it ran on network television. TCM would later become a named sponsor of the Great Movie Ride until the attraction closed in 2017. Well, that's my commentary for this video. If you like these retro videos, please subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up, click the notification bell, and leave a comment. All these things really help the channel. Keep watching for more retro videos like this and other retro videos. Take care of yourself and look out for others. Talk to you later. Bye.
This video brought to you by StockAgogo.com, Stock Photos.